Alright, that works. Cool. I'm fucking tired. It's been a tiring week. I've been getting a lot of stuff done in the background to try and get a lot of stuff going. And there's a project that's going to be taken off tomorrow. I think taking off. That's going to piss off all the right people. I've been wanting to talk about it and be more like official with it. But basically, hello Valor. There's going to be a website popping up. Some of you have already seen some of this site. And this site is going to be making it easier for anarchists of a variety of sorts to communicate their message, all in one place. Hello, Minty. I will not close the shirt. I will not eat the bugs nor live in the pods. It's very warm today. I'm protesting. Also, I'm in my relaxed I was right mode about Javier Milei, which I'll get into shortly. So I feel like I've earned myself some leisure time. y'all get to see my chest rug for a temporary bit here. I feel vindicated every time news comes out now, because like I get to tell people that I was right about yet another thing. Let me share this. And in this case, the thing that I was most recently right about was the fascist regime of Javier Milei. Because he literally said he was going to instate martial law. He said he was going to militarize institutions during a transition period. And when I brought that up and highlighted the quote from his platform, somehow that wasn't good enough. Somehow a lot of people got to ignore that fact, got to pretend that what I was saying was not true, got to pretend that what I was saying was not completely reasonable, even though I quoted him. So I'm very irritated by this. I'm very irritated by the way that this has been going. You know, I can just quote people, and people will still say I'm wrong about it. But at least I'm vindicated. At least I'm vindicated. Because, like, yet again, the thing that I was predicting was going to be a problem is a problem. And he literally just banned a variety of types of protests. So, yeah, I mean, told you. Told you to everyone who told me I was wrong, told me I was full of shit. Hello, Big Ben. Yeah, you like the shirt, Big Ben? Like, I'm just over here relaxing. I'm maxing and relaxing. I'm being my true self, a sleazebag who's consistently right about evil people being evil. And, yeah. Get to show off my testosterone-laden chest hair here. Fucking... and you know the other part? It's so fucking hilariously fucking evil. That... like, so many alleged libertarians, so many fake libertarians pretend to care about liberty. Right up until the time comes to allow leftists liberty. And then they will claim left libertarians don't even exist. They will claim communism needs to be crushed at all costs, even if the cost is freedom here at home. The CIA being the chief distributor of anti-communist fucking bullshit. So, I think it's bullshit. I think that a significant amount of these libertarians don't actually give a shit. And as evidence today, hello Liberimer, as evidence today, when I started talking about the fact that he is banning protests if you're carrying a stick, if you are picketing, if you're wearing a mask, all these types of protests against his regime, the fact that I brought that up caught me flack from a bunch of fucking Argentinians and Argentina boos that are very, like, upset I'm going against it, but not at all able to disprove me. Like, so one of them kept calling me stupid and saying that I shouldn't talk about politics outside my country, despite the guy, Javier Milei, saying that, that he's on the side of America and Israel, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but America and Israel aren't fucking Argentina. So he's allowed to have his opinion on countries far away, but I'm not allowed to have my opinion on his, when a bunch of American libertarians and anarchists are using his regime as an example of what we should be. I call fucking bullshit. That's fucking garbage. I'm going to speak out against it all, because it's bullshit to call him a libertarian or an anarchist when he is promoting a surveillance facial recognition superstate, for-profit prisons with mandatory work, and a fucking crackdown on protests and militarization of institutions as soon as he gets in. He's doing what he promised he would do. And that's why he doesn't want people to wear masks at protests, because he wants to be able to recognize their faces, put them in the facial recognition database, and track those who are dissidents against the state of Argentina under his regime. That's literally in, like, complete alignment with his goals in his platform about installing facial recognition cameras everywhere, which rely on AI. So I fucking challenge anyone to actually disprove me on this, because they won't be able to. If the point is to make things more peaceful, then what you would do is you would give everyone arms. You wouldn't say that this already arms-restricted country, we're going to take away your sticks now. You wouldn't say, if you want peace, you can't be anonymous. Because plenty of violence is done directly out in the open, and you cannot jail them all. If you keep on restricting freedom and restricting them more and more and more, and you keep putting them, like, in prison, making it easier to imprison minors and everyone else so that you can force them into work programs, if you behave like a fascist, there will be violence in retaliation. I'm not advocating that, YouTube. I'm saying that will happen because a riot is the language of the unheard. It always happens when you repress people for long enough and fuck with their shit. So, I'm not suggesting that it's a valuable or viable option. What I am, however, going to say is that this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen if his regime keeps doing what it does. And libertarians everywhere will rejoice when he starts to murder fucking communists, because they rejoiced at Pinochet's murdering of communists, and because they ignored the Nazis he worked with in order to torture and rape communists, and of course to rape kids. Like, they'll ignore anything that they have to in order to pretend a regime is libertarian just because it's going against the shit leftists. And they'll pretend that people like me are wrong when we say, maybe if somebody is a libertarian, they shouldn't be installing a facial recognition superstate. But damn if there aren't a lot of them who just can't shut the fuck up. Even when Patricia Bullrich, the guy's pick for fucking security minister, is fucking a drug warrior, and she's promising to, like, crush the cartels as soon as she gets in and wage a war on drugs. This motherfucker is not a Ron Paul libertarian. This motherfucker is a fascist. And he shows it with every fucking person he allows into his cabinet. From people who softened the fucking previous dictatorships, or who actively helped crooked cops who are against communists, or who actively assisted in the, like, crushing of left-wing movements in the country, or who actively are now threatening drug war. This man is a standard right-wing demagogue. He's not a libertarian. He's not an anarchist. And these motherfuckers want me to shut up because I'm not Argentinian. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Javier Milei and fuck any American who wants to model America more like Javier Milei's Argentina. I'm already angry. See? It's already here. Hey, Big Ben, if this is your first time here, welcome. This is what it's always like. I'm just unhinged on these weekly discussion streams. I also talk directly to chat, so... what am I doing? Did you see the argument I was getting into with that mysterious Groiper person or whatever? No, I didn't. Fuck me. Jesus. Okay. Just to be clear, every minor should stay away from every Groiper. Every Nick Fuentes fan is at least pedophile supporting. But let me go look at this. This has to be cancer. This has to be absolute dog shit. Okay. Let me... I don't see an argument. You're free to link me to the argument, because currently I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Never mind. Yeah. Yeah, we got one person to delete their fucking Twitter profile, and we got another one to block me. I think it's the real Corinthian here who blocked me. Okay, one moment. Yeah, these are bitches! They can't handle fucking dialogue about the pedophile fucking fascists they support. Oh, get fucked, you little bitch. Oh, shit. Okay, let me... Where is... I'm trying to find the whole root of this in order to... Because I think I see the sort of branch off where Benjamin got involved, but I don't see much of an argument with you. Oh, so it's just like responses? Okay, yeah, because I saw that. Yeah, your verse was great, where he was saying he would go as low as 13 or 14, and you were like, whoever causes one of these little ones who believes in me to sin, it would be better for him to, if a great millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea. Yeah, I saw that. That was a good response. Yeah, I fucking hate Nick Fuentes fans. They're fucking... Like, if you hate Nick Fuentes fans, like this video and sub. Because, holy shit. Nick Fuentes fans are cancer. Like, they literally... I'm fucking German and Scottish in blood. I'm pretty sure I'm 0% fucking Jew. But they want to call me a Jew, even though I am extremely critical of the state of Israel, in ways that one of them even said, like, oh, you have the same politics. No, I fucking don't. I'm better than Nick in every single fucking way politically. Yeah, he said it's irrelevant to his point. And he's like, Valor's like, that's irrelevant to my point? What the fuck do you mean? What the fuck do you fucking mean it's irrelevant to your point? Yeah, it's exactly like that. Because it's, and that's the thing. The Bible literally says that if you look upon a woman with lust in your heart, it is as though you have committed adultery already. So, these motherfuckers are lusting after high school girls and saying that because they're attracted to these people, it would be Catholic approved to fuck them. No, it wouldn't. Stop lusting anyway after chicks that aren't yours, and especially if they're fucking high school children. God, Nick Fuentes fans are fucking gross. It's always exhausting because these people will have a bigger audience because he encourages this degeneracy. He encourages this garbage. Like, this is worthless. But, you know, he has it. Let me... Yeah, see, okay. Valor, I would advocate that you not respond. I don't think children should talk to Nick Fuentes fans. I think Nick Fuentes fans should have to tell people when they move to a neighborhood. This, like, it's a repeated pattern. Like, we got one of them to delete their shit. We got, like, 5 of them to block me after the backlash. All because I was accurately pointing out that they want to fuck kids. Nick Fuentes fans are unhinged, delusional, pedophilic fascists. No children should talk to them. Like, really, the only people who should talk to these people are the FBI and Chris Hansen. And maybe, Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers. That's what I'll say to that. Because, I don't want to get demonetized if I ever actually do. Fucking gross. Anyway, let me scroll up here for a bit. Fowler says, Jesus Christ, I was looking at my notifications, bruh. Yeah, literally Jesus. These people need Jesus. Instead of their weird fucking weeb pedophilic fantasies, they should really get with Jesus. He also says, shave, I'm getting you a razor for Christmas. I will not shave. Shaving is an instrument of the slowiarchy. I am not going to be slow. This speeds me up. I'm very fast. I'll do a Christmas rant closer to Christmas, Liberimer. Probably closer to Christmas and, like, when somebody is visiting. Because, like, that's closer to the time when Christmas will actually be, and it will be fresher in people's brains. By the way, if y'all like what you hear, feel free to hit that like button, and also feel free to throw me some scratch so that I can continue to improve my operation. But basically, yeah, like, there's going to be a site coming up that's going to be, I think, epic in a great way. I think this thing is going to be very useful for spreading anarchy of all sorts to a variety of people. So, Minty, literally all of Argentinian politics just revolves around the ideology that parentism, but just twisting it into whatever politicians want. Yeah, yeah, basically. And Minty also says, Mafau, I just saw that argument you had with an Argentinian dude. He's so fucking mad you exposed Malay. Yeah, dude, and it's so fucking insane. Yo, it's so fucking insane. Like, it's so... Like, I just bring up the fucking platform, and then I bring up what he's doing, and then I bring up who he's putting in his cabinet. And this would be fine in any political context where people were honest, but these motherfuckers aren't honest. It's like when I see Trumpaboos being over here like, oh yeah, 4 years, no wars. There were wars. He literally started his whole bullshit by finishing off the family of American citizens that Obama started to assassinate. He finished off the al-Awlaki family, left this girl bleeding out with a bullet in the neck. So, no, he didn't. And then he, like, assassinated generals, and he removed the drone reporting mandate so he could drone as many motherfuckers as he wanted. And it's like, no, he didn't, like, know wars. He just, like, did few things to add more wars, while also encouraging a bunch of the groundwork that would eventually lead to more wars. And built a fence that he called a wall. It's fucking... Like, it's when people start to ignore facts and reality in front of them. That they pretend people like Javier Milei is a libertarian or an anarchist. And that they pretend that unleashing the military on protesters is not by definition martial law. It's by definition martial law. I was right about that before he even did it because he said he was going to, and now that he's doing it, I'm fucking right. But these people don't want to admit that because that means that they have to admit that their fucking Malay daddy isn't as good for them as they wanted him to be. And that would be hard, especially since they'd have to admit that the hedgehog is right, and that sucks to do. So, gotta pretend I'm wrong. Minty says, Malay, yes, I love the 70s dictatorship. Yes, I want to impose martial law. Libertarians, wow, it was so based and liberty-pilled. It's exactly that. It's exactly that. And yes, your Twitter profile is picture is good. Good choice. LeBarimer, actually, in the Catholic Church, women of 14 can marry under canon law, so maybe we shouldn't be getting our moral standards from the Catholic Church. Yeah, well, also just not from the Church. Like, in Vatican City, especially. Like, Vatican City had it at 14 until, like, within the last decade. And that's why you should ignore what Vatican City says, but most people won't because they own a significant amount of class and political power. Like, did you know that the Vatican is the single largest landowner in New York City? That can't be, like, a bad thing. Don't criticize that, and be sure to blame the Jews for everything and the power structures of the world, despite the Vatican having a significant amount of outsized power and influence, and, like, a huge amount of wealth and power, and getting away with all these crimes all the time. Because they're the Vatican, and the Vatican's pure and perfect and innocent and fluffy. No, in fact. Being a Jew does not mean that you're automatically in power, and power does not automatically mean Jew. There are powerful Jews, but there are powerful everyone else as well. And for people who worship the Vatican to say that they don't respect this sort of power is bullshit. They just want it. They're not anarchists. They're not trying to abolish power. They're trying to isolate it, so they have to keep up the bullshit race and ethno-religious wars. So, yeah, fuck the Catholic Church, and fuck any other ethno-statist religio-fascist organization. How about that? Oh, and I promise for all those of you who think that this is, you know, that I'm under the influence, this is water. I'm clean and sober, motherfuckers. You should have seen me back when I was drinking. I made these rants look weak, and also was a lot less cogent while actually ranting. Because I had a bunch of people recently tell me, oh, you're just a drunk, druggy, blah, 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 junkie, whatever. I had one person in the comments of my fucking anti-Nick Fuentes pedophilia shit. I had one motherfucker there say that, like, people exposed me as basically a homeless drug addict. Fucking when? I have been clean and sober for many years. I work out in order to get my fucking mind chemicals, motherfucker. You can't compete. You can't hack this, so you have to lie. Anyway, hello to the 6 concurrent viewers. Sound off in chat if you're there. Oh. Okay. Valor's like, when you got really close to the mic, I was looking at my notifications as soon as you did that. I got so scared. Yeah. Just me over here being super loud all of a sudden. You mean trumpets? Yeah, trumpets. Minty says, what's happened on Twitter since I left? Any new spicy drama? Plenty. But, I mean, like, it's just the usual shit. Fascists and pedophiles pretending not to be. Valor says, ew, Catholic Church. You Pope supremacy, hate the concept of the Pope, always have, even before I was Orthodox. Yeah, basically. Yeah, Nick Fuentes is absolute garbage. Like, but he has the support of people like Kanye. Kanye gets to say that he opposes the fucking power structures, and he gets to say that he's against the Vatican. But then he had Nick Fuentes as his campaign manager or his running mate or something. You can't have it both ways, yay. Like, I saw your recent rant. Some of it was good. But let's be super fucking clear. If you think the Vatican is that close to the top of the leverage, if you think Vatican is that close to the top of the power structure, let's get fucking real. You cannot support people like Nick Fuentes and also hate the Vatican. Hate the Catholic Church and its, like, regional and power supremacy. You can't. You got to oppose both or neither. And if you're going to also talk about the fact that they're all, connected to Epstein and pedophile cults and shit like that, which you're right about, you got to oppose Nick Fuentes and all these right-wing fucks who want to hide the fact that they're pedophiles while fucking people around the age as your daughters. Kanye. Like, I'm with you on some of your shit. And I don't know if you noticed, Kanye, but we both got the same sort of vibe because we're both the bipolar that the state wants us to take meds for. We both got that schizo grind set. The difference is, I haven't gone far enough down the hole to be like, yeah, it's the Jews. And simultaneously, yeah, it's the Vatican. And simultaneously, yeah, I'll support somebody who loves the Catholic Church and hates Jews. You can't have it both ways. The real shit, the real motherfuckers out there are the ones who are opposing every part of the power structure. From the House of Saud, to the Russian oligarchs, to the Chinese, tech billionaires, to the motherfuckers in charge pulling the strings at the Vatican, to all of these people running in the same circles as the Zionists, and then having their public little sparring matches in order to improve their military-industrial complexes, intelligence-industrial complexes, and all this shit to keep the people more oppressed at home and more wedded to their state capitalist dogmatic ideology. And they don't fucking care. They're Malthusian. They don't care if they destroy everything because at least they'll fucking reduce the population because you're the carbon they want to reduce. So, it doesn't matter to them that they're, all running in the same circles, the same genocidal, evil, maniacal circles that puppeteer the world and promote rivers of blood. They don't care if they, enable the nuclear winter that gives us years of darkness. They don't care if they hearken the biometric mark of the beast ID and payment systems that you won't be able to buy or sell with that comes out of Revelation. They don't give a fucking shit that they're enabling the literal end times. In fact, they laugh at you for it. They install murals for it at the Denver International Airport. And then when they remodel those murals and when they cover them all up in order to cover up the truth that people might be able to see while they're passing through on their commute or to their vacation or whatever, they'll install a laughing, talking gargoyle to mock you if you look into it. If you look into their cleansing, population cleansing, if you look into their, extremely evil conspiracies, if you look into this shit at all, they will crush you. And if they don't, it's because they don't have to, because they've already taken away enough of your power that all they have to do is laugh at you. That's reality. And they want to keep you at each other's throats. So they keep black and white people fighting. They keep us fighting Mexico and saying we're going to bomb them now. They keep us fighting China or the Jews or the Palestinians or, whatever you have at the moment. They keep us fighting. The U.S. is still in Somalia. Why is the U.S. in Somalia? The U.S. does not need AFRICOM. George Bush does not care about black people. You are right, Kanye. But you know who else doesn't care about black people? Biden. Bring that shit up. Let's go all the way and say Trump doesn't give a fuck about black people either. None of them do. None of them give a fuck about us. None of them give a fuck about, like, the them that they want to pit us against. Whoever us is, whoever you being us is, they don't give a fuck about us. Michael Jackson was right. But you know, we're supposed to ignore any element of truth that comes out of this society. And we're supposed to hate the truth tellers. It's revelation right now. They got us fighting each other. So if we keep our barrels pointed this way, it'll never be pointed this way. We will never see the top of the ivory towers fall because we are too busy pointing our barrels at each other. I say fuck the ivory towers, but that gets me suppressed in the algorithm. So, the real shit is that, yeah, there are some powerful Jews, but there are also some powerful anti-Jews. And all these motherfuckers get to compete at the kiddie table of politics, while the people who run shit are a multi-ethnic, multi-religious group of globalists who are watching us and laughing at our conflicts that they will always profit off of and always get to expand their power from. That's the real shit. That's where we are. We are pawns on a chessboard vying for knighthood, vying for bishop status, vying for rookness. But it's because we don't have any prospects on becoming a king or queen. Those motherfuckers are the legacy pieces. Those motherfuckers are the old money, blood money, late money people who've been around for millennia. They control our shit. They run this game. They are the ones who, if they die, the power structure collapses. See, we all gotta die before they do, so that they can live forever, or as long as they need to in order to preserve their legacy. This is human lives chess, and we always lose, because most of us will never graduate to anything, because most of us will not see the end of the board. We will be stuck in the first two ranks as long as the game goes on. That's how this motherfucking works, and they keep us fighting each other in those first ranks so that we never expand our power, we never reach for the stars, we never fuck those motherfuckers up, because we are too busy worried about rainbow flags, or Jews, or black people, or any of these other things on the ground fucking level. We cannot get power, because we are too busy fighting each other. Real power is unity. Real power is the strength that comes from not being their pawn. That's real power. But they would rather we want something like, you know, our race's power, or religious power, or something power. They don't give a fuck about us. And they hope we can still not give a fuck about each other. Because the moment we start caring about each other is the moment we start realizing that our real power is in uniting and fucking these motherfuckers up. That's reality. But we can't do that if we just consistently express ourselves in this way. Like, oh yeah, as soon as we get the fascist or tanky regime, we'll fucking, like, be able to crush the only bad guys. And we're never the only bad guys. We're always the good guys. Whoever we are. Keep fighting in your ranks. You know? Keep up the intra-class warfare. Never fight the real war, which is the class war. Anyway. I don't even remember how that started. Whatever. Kant says that's a tendency among all forms of Christianity, where those born into it are generally not as fanatic about it as converts. Yeah, basically. Hello, Kant. Has it already been a year since the Hitler-Kanye memes? I don't actually know, but probably. I don't care either, because I'm talking about recent stuff. But I mean, yeah, his older stuff too. Like, he was backing Trump. How can you say George Bush doesn't care about black people and then back Trump? What the hell? They're both around the similar level. Neither of them give a fucking shit about us. Neither of them give a fucking shit about black people. You know? And by us, by the way, I mean the people on the bottom, before somebody thinks I'm transracial. I'm saying us as in the poor people, the disenfranchised people, the people like me living in poverty most of our lives. So, yeah, I mean, he's gone, like, he went on this rant where he attacked a bunch of people in this room, where he attacked a bunch of people in the industry, and where he, you know, said that the Vatican is at the top layers of control. And maybe, but you helped them do it by helping the trad cats. Because you helped them because they were useful allies against the Jews. The only way out of this, Kanye, if you ever hear this, the only way out of this is anarchy. No state will ever save us. No power will ever win against these motherfuckers that they have created. You cannot ask the warden for the keys to your cell. And you can't ask pedo-fascist Nick Fuentes, who worships at the altar of the Catholic establishment, to fucking help you fight the Vatican. So, hello, Jester. Yeah, just went off. Because I'm not mentally stable and I refuse to take the fucking prescriptions. That's, by the way, if you ever hear me snapping my jaw like that, that's what being an unmedicated motherfucker does for my skeletal structure. A lot of the time, I'll literally, like, I have bruxism. I grind my teeth while I sleep, which, you know, it makes me surprised that they're even still here, really. But I'm still doing all right. But it also means that I'll have a tendency to store a lot of my stress in my jaw. So I just kind of, and then it sort of settles into place and I got to crack it and pop it a little. It's warm. I've got my window open even. I've got my window open and it's still warm. I'm fucking hypermetabolic. So, yeah, is there anything anybody else wants to talk about? Yeah, I'm also very, very exhausted. So, you're hearing me in an exhausted rant. So Kant, you weren't here earlier. Kant? I'm just gonna say Kant. You weren't here earlier. But I fucking I talked about the website. I'm basically gonna try to launch that tomorrow, and the website's going to have a variety of writers making a variety of content for a variety of different sorts of anarchy. Some of you have already seen some of it. Also, everybody who wants to write for it should set up a session, because that's what a session account. It's a chat app. It's where we're going to be doing our chats so that we can talk about stuff that might be censored elsewhere. And it's also a very secure app that uses its own in-house version of the Tor relay, onion routing, where the messages are not only encrypted, but they strip metadata. So unless you have somebody's key, you're not going to get any information at all. And with their key, you're not going to get like their geolocation or their fucking, it's not going to give you enough vital information in the standard messages to track somebody. So it's really good for privacy. It's really good for security. I'm not sponsored by them, but I fucking would be if they gave me money. Because I believe in the project, and unlike Keybase, it's still doing it. Like, Keybase is outmoded. Keybase is dead. Keybase is... The last time they tweeted was 3 years ago. It's basically like the chat app equivalent of a rug pull. And I'm very angry because I devoted a lot of time and energy into telling people to join that app because it was doing some cool shit. And then it just stopped doing the cool shit. And then it stopped doing anything at all. And for the past several years, it's barely been being updated at all. And when it is, it's just to patch bugs. It's not actually to give any feature updates. So, yeah, no. So Session is where it's at. LeBarimer says Zoom bought Keybase and then killed the servers. That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me. And, like, they got... It's like, yeah, we fucking jacked the encryption capability for our video services. And then after we got the encryption thing for our video services, we just, like, everything... Yeah, we got what we needed. We got our hostile takeover. Is Sonic's eyes one giant eyeball or something? So... My theory is that it's, instead of being a pure ball in each socket, it's like a slightly misshapen kind of egg-like thing that does this, and it just sort of rolls like this. That's my conspiracy theory there. Jester says, New Jeremiah unlocked, exhausted hedgehog. Basically... Yeah, it's... Last night I stayed up way too late, like, trying to fix the issues with the site. Today I fucking... I spent a significant amount of time troubleshooting and talking, like, to Kareem, the guy who's gonna run the joint with me, and seek writers, getting certain things dealt with on a customer service level. And, yeah, it's been a challenge. But it should be something very available soon. LeBarimer says, everyone flipped out because they were stupid and thought Zoom was going to compromise the security because they don't know what E2EE is. But all they had to do was stop maintaining the servers. However, if you've got decent tech knowledge, you can get the same experience Keybase had by self-hosting your own XAMPP or Matrix server. Yeah, except you can't, unless you're willing to buy really expensive RAID setups or something, you're not going to have the same level of file storage that Keybase was offering, and you're certainly not going to be able to allow people to host their own websites, because that's just risky if you're doing your own self-hosting. That's just risky, because that's like, if somebody uploads anything at all, then they can just call the cops and say you've got it on your computer, you know? So it's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's extremely risky, especially using it for what I was using it for. So I probably wouldn't. Minty, did you... Oh, LeBarimer says, works for comms between you and your crew, though, LOL. Yeah, it can. You gotta really trust him. But even then, I mean, Session is fine for that. Minty says, did you hear about the politician that had gay sex or something like that? He didn't just have it, he had it in the chamber floors. Like, it was definitely illegal. But it was also yet another example of Republicans being like, you know, the anti-LGBT party, and then you find out that they've, like, got things like that they're hiding, And when they aren't hiding that kind of thing, they're also, you know, being pedophiles, you know, and claiming that the LGBT people are groomers. It's very common. It's very common. Valor asks if I've got any opinions on Sonic EXE and Tails Doll being a duo / paired. I mean, I don't see why that would be, but if somebody wants to do it, it's not like that. I was never into these things for the story. I was always into, like, the EXE stuff, like the creepypasta Sonic stuff for the aesthetic. I don't really care about the stories at all, so, I mean, if people want to add that shit to it, it'll be just like, whatever. Did the thing you draw look cool? Then I'll have it. Liberimer says, session is great, it's just onion routing is slow, so it makes chatting super laggy, and you can get a speed boost by not onion routing, and then you'll control the metadata yourself since you run the server. Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you want true security, if you want your chat to be harder to compromise, then having an onion routing like service makes sense for that. If you're just trying to, like, run, you know, you and your crew, then yeah, I mean, Matrix makes sense. But if you're trying to run you and a bunch of people who might have compromising political affiliations or ideas or something, or who might want to sell you out to the feds, it makes so much more sense to use session. And I'm not saying that that's the case with the people who are starting this project with us. I'm saying, like, there might be some person down the line that it would be much easier to burn that person off if, like, they fucked us over using session than it would be Matrix, if that makes sense. Minty says, have you played Sonic R? Yeah. I mean, I didn't like it, just to be clear. I thought the music was great, as usual. But the gameplay, it's just janky. You know? And the characters don't look like the characters. It just seems very much like premature. It was a premature way for the franchise to start in 3D. It was premature, is what I can describe it as. Libermer says, yeah, for sure, I'm not saying that session is obsolete. Onion routing def has better security. I just always like to mention that there are other options that people don't know about. Yeah, basically. Yeah, and also, of course, you know, just to be crystal clear, there are options that are even more secure than both of those. And all you gotta do is be close enough to use a mesh net. Mesh nets are great. Mesh nets pwn. Mesh nets shred. If you're close enough and you can set up a BRUSHFIRE connection, like when Anarchy House gets going, we can message for free. We meaning whoever's in Anarchy House with me can message for free, just by setting up BRUSHFIRE, just by having BRUSHFIRE on and connecting through Bluetooth. Can message for free, send shit for free on an open source platform of FOSS software that, like, FOSS software. FOSS! It's like hot water heater. That doesn't require any accounts at all. You just set up the fucking mesh net and you're sending things across the mesh. And it's the same thing with, like, file sharing. You can send things across a mesh with you can form entire local internets across a mesh net. But, like, you know, that's it's as far as I'm concerned, the best option if you're not running a mesh net is very probably something like session. But yeah. Either way, though, Is there something y'all want to talk about? Because I've got about probably 15 more minutes. Then I'm going to work out. I haven't worked out yet. I decided to do this before the workout so more people would have the opportunity to be here. Because a lot of the time when I start it later, because I pushed everything too far in the day, like most people are already asleep, and I don't like to do that. So I'm going to be starting these reliably at 8:30 Eastern instead of 9 or 10 or something like that. Ah! Jester says, I'm introducing my rats to my baby rats. Good stuff. And Valor says, I like my gecko. He's cute. You gotta send some pics. You gotta see your gek pics, Valor. Yeah, like, I've got, like, plans. I've got ways things are about to accelerate, for sure. I'm fucking... I've been so dehydrated for, like, limited reason. Okay. That's interesting. Sebastian CK says on my How to Defend a Predator video about Thaddeus Russell, Eliza Blue, and Stephen Kirshner. He says, crazy this video seems shadow banned on search. I'm not surprised. I mean, it's about objectively evil stuff, and I don't censor anything. So, I mean, that's why a lot of these people will have, like, the beeps in their videos that censor blah, 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 because, like, they don't want to get fucking suppressed. But me, I'm just like, if I get suppressed, I get suppressed. I'm going to rely on people spreading my conscience. So like, share, and subscribe. That wasn't supposed to be how that sentence worked. But yeah, yeah, there's a lot coming. Huh. Looks like I'm down to 3 concurrent viewers, so... Valor says, I got his heating pad on, so he's coming out a lot more about out of his hide. Well, good for him. He's living his truth. Valor also, IDK, what to comment on your videos anymore? It's basically just spam and nothing useful. I just do it to boost you. Works for me. But yeah, with that being said, yeah, we're looking at around 54 minutes. So, if there's anything else y'all want to talk about before I book, and I keep saying this and I keep not doing it, but I'm going to actually commit to it. I have to get back to the 1 video a day grind set, because it's literally been 2 videos in the past 4 months. That's not acceptable. Not remotely. So, what am I doing for Christmas? I've got a guest coming over. He's visiting for like a week, I think it is. So, it should be an interesting experience to show this guest around the Spokane area. Might be moving into the Anarchy House and helping establish that like May-ish next year. So if that ends up happening, I'll have established territory and community here of anarchists, and we can get that going. because that's going to be what's most necessary, is to start the establishment of that. And the point of Anarchy House is going to be sort of like a lily pad for getting people's own houses in the area, so that we can have this small network of anarchists in the same area, influencing the area, doing mutual aid, trying to help what we can, organizing protests, going out and helping make content, get B-roll footage, you know, shit we can do. Like, because it's fucked, the fact that there's so much shit we could do if we had the same community power that the statists do, and we don't. So that's what I'm going to try to start to address with Anarchy House. And this guest is visiting to see if the place seems copacetic. So if that happens, probably I'll be showing this person around. And hopefully it'll fucking snow, because it's only snowed twice. This is the least white Christmas since I've been here. So, very upset about that. Either way, we've got one more stream before Christmas. We've got enough energy for actually making content, and now all I need to do is actually put rubber to the road and fucking do it. So, with all that being said, yeah, fucking smash the fucking state.